Hello, I'm Glen Dempsey. Since 2019 I've been the Assistant Director of Music at Ely Cathedral, and here we are in the glorious Lady Chapel. Before that I spent 4 wonderful years as organ scholar at St John's College, Cambridge, and it's great to be able to say a few words about the forthcoming release of the latest album, Magnificat 2. I've always thought that the acoustic of St John's Chapel is incredibly versatile. In the choir stalls themselves, there's an amazing level of intimacy. The singers can hear each other very clearly. The building is kind of tall and narrow with a wooden ceiling, which is ideal for singing very soft music. Being able to hear all of the consonants, Watson and E, Nunc, is a kind of example of that. At the other end of the spectrum, the other end of the building, there's a warm, blooming, cavernous acoustic in the antechapel, which is where we recorded the pairs. The juxtaposition of those two, having both of those acoustics, means, however, that when you're singing very loudly at the end of something like Walton Chichester Service or Howells Call Reg, you do hear a pleasing sense of echo at the end of those dramatic pieces. Within the album booklet, you can see the first sketch of the first page of Howells's beloved Collegium Regale. Fascinatingly, every single note virtually is as it is in the final product, with the exception of the first bar of the organ introduction. Clearly Howells was trying to emulate the dark, ethereal atmosphere of King's College Chapel in those chords. It's interesting also to think that during the Second World War, when this work was premiered, that would have been even darker than usual because none of the medieval stained glass was in place. It had all been removed for its safety. Interestingly, here in the Lady Chapel at Ely, we don't have very much medieval stained glass at all. Just this little fragment here, reconstructed from pieces of stained glass that were destroyed by Oliver Cromwell in the 17th century. My senior organ scholar, Joseph Wicks, showed me the ideal registration on which to play those opening bars to best emulate the flickering candle atmosphere of King's College Chapel during the Second World War. It was nice to be able to reproduce that on this recording. I have, however, slightly modified his registrations in the Gloria. There's one bit that comes at World Without End, da 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 da. And I thought it might benefit from being played on a louder reed stop. Unfortunately, however, I later realised I didn't have enough limbs to play it, so those notes were actually played by my junior, James Anderson Bazant. Elsewhere in the Jackson Nunc Dimittis, Jav had a similar idea, so despite the credits being for him and me and him respectively in those two places, but there are moments where we do little duets. One of the best bits about being organ scholar at St John's is having the opportunity to premiere all sorts of varied contemporary music. It was such a fantastic experience working with Julian Anderson on the organ registrations of his new setting of the Magnificat and Nunc Dimittis, and he was such a fun presence to be around in the recording as well. It's been interesting thinking back to the early 60s when Michael Tiffett presumably would have been working with the organ scholars on the organ accompaniment to his famous setting of the evening canticles, and I really think that this setting by Julian is going to become similarly embedded into the repertoire all over the places. A setting of fantastic vitality. The Magnificat, like the Tiffett, seems to kind of almost sprint to an inexorable close. Nunc Dimittis, also like Tiffett, although with Anderson's own unique harmonic language, is almost kind of placid with its close harmony chords, or maybe languid is a better word, until the start of the Gloria, when, harkening back to Tiffett, the trumpeter makes a brief appearance before returning to the gentler, beautifully spaced chords. Very happy memories of the week we spent recording the CD, and it is now available to pre-order, together with its digital booklet online, a link for which is on your screen, I believe. Magnificat 2 comes out on Friday the 16th of April, and we hope you enjoy listening as much as we enjoyed making the recording.